Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia G, and on my channel I like to share my manifesting stories and any tools and techniques that I use. And today I want to share a manifesting story. This story takes place about 12 years ago. It was about a rental, and my family and I had just moved into this neighborhood, and we had signed a 1-year lease for this house. We really liked the house. It had a pool. It was just the right size for us. I soon came to find out that we picked the worst block to live in that neighborhood, to say the least. We had neighbors to the left and the right that were very problematic, not with us, but amongst themselves. And there was always a lot of drinking and fighting and police being called, and it was just disruptive, and it wasn't ideal. It wasn't somewhere where you want to be raising your children. And I had signed a 1-year lease with the house, so which wasn't too bad. So at least it wasn't two. It was just a 1-year lease, and so my family and I decided to make the best of it, and we knew we weren't going to stay there forever, and it was just a year. So I would take my dog on daily walks, and on the route that we usually would go on these walks, there was a house that I really admired all the time. I really liked it. You could see that it was well maintained, and whoever lived there really liked to make it look very nice aesthetically, and it had a lot of palm trees in the front. It was gated. On the side of the house, you can see fruit trees coming over the wall. It was just a nice house. It was very appealing to me. And every time I would walk through there, I just loved looking at it. And I recall telling myself a few times, I would love to live there. And all the houses in the surrounding areas of this house were also well taken care of and looked really nice. But this particular house caught my eye, I think because I really did like the color. I loved that it was gated. I loved all the palm trees in the front of the house. It was just very welcoming and inviting, and it looked like a hacienda. I don't know if you know what a hacienda is, but it was just very appealing to me, and I really liked looking at it. The school that my children went to was literally across the street. It was just perfect. So time goes by, my lease is almost up, and one day I'm walking my dog. We're on our route, taking a walk, and I can't believe what I am looking at. I see a for rent sign on the front of this house. The house that I was always admiring, the house that I was always thinking, oh, I would love to live there. I knew that my family and I were gonna wanna be moving soon. We were not gonna re-sign the lease again to stay another year. The for rent sign had a phone number. I called, I made an appointment to see the house, and long story short, my family and I moved in. We were able to rent that house. And it was just amazing how I would admire the house and think how wonderful that house must be on the inside. And it was upgraded. Everything in the house was upgraded, and it was much nicer than the house that we were living in. It didn't have a pool, but that was okay. I was willing to sacrifice the pool and the neighbors for this house. Absolutely. The house was only 4 blocks away from where I was living at the time, but it was in a much better area. It was really calm. You can tell that everybody in the neighborhood cared for the way they lived, and I appreciate that. It was just amazing how this house was for rent at the same time that our lease was going to be up and we were going to be able to move. It was just so wonderful the way it lined up. It just lined up perfectly. I did not even bother looking in the neighborhood for another house. I had been admiring this house for so long that I knew that this was the house that I was going to move into next. It was priceless the way it worked out. So what I recall doing in that situation was that I would admire the house. I would think how nice the house was. I would think thoughts of, I would love to live in that house. I would just think the wonderful thoughts about the house and then move on with my day. And I did it constantly. Every time I'd walk through there, sometimes I wouldn't even think nothing. I would just like to look at it because it was nice. And I don't ever recall ever thinking, oh, I won't be able to live there, or they'll never rent it, or anything like that. I never thought anything. I just admired the house. And it worked. It worked, plain and simple. The house was ready for me when we were ready. You know, it just lined up perfectly well. And it was very surprising. I absolutely love how the universe will surprise and delight you if you let it. If you don't put any restrictions with thoughts and feelings. And I know it could be hard. We're human. We're experiencing a lot of things. So if you like my manifesting story, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments below. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.